All right, so I know some of you might have been waiting. Who is this person? Who's the lucky man?
It's me.
No, who's engaged to moi? All right, have a look. So I have a surprise for you. Ta-da! Would you like to meet my fiancé? Bet you've been wondering who it is, right? Nobody has any idea. All right, here he is.
Oh, lovely. Amazing woman.
Oh, well done, Nana.
Do you know who that is?
Steve.
Stephen Gillen. That's right.
So for the viewers who don't know him...
He was in prison.
Who is...
He was many years ago, but he's completely reformed and turned his life around.
Bit of a... Is he a tough guy? Bit of a hard man?
He's a very tough guy.
Yeah.
He's a very hard man, yes.
OK. And where did you meet?
We met on GBNews.
No.
It goes. Yes.
No, really?
About 2 years ago, I interviewed him for the first time.
And was it love at first sight?
Well, he was with somebody else, but I remember looking. No, there's nothing gone on when he's been with them. I remember looking, thinking. I didn't think anything actually. I remember saying, "Why is this man so shy?" He sat here. I'm talking to him. He's like, What's wrong with him? Speak properly." And then a little while ago, he split up from his partner, and then we met again for some other thing, and we ended up going out with each other.
And who courted who? Who was chasing who?
He chased me.
Yeah?
He chased me.
Stan.
Who knew you could find love on GBNews?
Did you run?
There we go.
I didn't run because he sent me flowers, he did everything, and I thought maybe it was one of those narcissist weirdos. But it wasn't. He is actually like...
One last question before we go. Who's the boss, Nana or Steve?
Who do you think?
Yeah, come on.
That's it from Britain's Newsroom. Here's Tom and Emily. Good afternoon, Britain.
Oh, love is in the air this afternoon, isn't it? Congratulations, Nana. What lovely news.
Utterly heartbroken.
You're
what am I going to do with myself now? Nana's taken.
Yeah, Nana only said the other day that no one wanted her. She was lying.
Oh,
she was lying.
I feel
Clearly someone
bereft.
very much does.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GBnews to start protecting yourself digitally today.
I'm joined by a celebrity, a former MP of someone who's had an extremely interesting career, to take a look at life after the job. We talk highs, lows and lessons learned and what comes next on the outside. Now, this week, my guest spent over 18 years behind bars. After growing up in Belfast during the Troubles, he was moved to East London, where he immersed himself into the criminal underworld. He went to prison at just the age of 22, where he rubbed shoulders with the notorious criminal Charles Bronston. But he left crime behind and has even been nominated for an International Peace Prize for his work preventing violence. He's written all about it in his book, Extraordinary, and he joins me right now to discuss it. Is, of course, the brilliant author, Stephen Gillen. Stephen Gillen.
Hi, Nana. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. And see you.
Well, it's great to talk to you. So we've spoken before, but for those who don't know, give us a little background about you. Like, you were born in this country in 1971. We're the same age.
Yeah, I was born here, Nana, taken to Belfast in the middle of the war over there, 6-month-year-old. You know, kind of left there. Of course, it was very bad over there. My surrogate mother died of cancer over there, sadly. I was the little boy on the boat, 9 years of age with the case. I back to England, went through a succession of
Well, you were like a little boy on a boat, like one of the people who come from on the channel type thing.
Yeah,
asking.
no, like it. No, I really was.
It was like that. You came in just with a briefcase and a little case of your...
A little child, you know, full of fear, anxiousness, like an immigrant, if you want to call it. Not that it's a bad word, but
not at
you know,
all.
very, very, very alone. You know, and I was going to a place, of course, was alien to me. So, yeah, that was the start of it for me.
So what happened there? You were taken in by... Who took you in, and how did your life go? Talk to me, give me more.
Well, it started to go downhill then, Nana, from there. I went through a succession of children's homes, a lot of them quite violent, and from there I was really groomed from petty crime into serious organised crime. Really, really quickly. Of course, within the East End. I mean, even then, all the people that were around me, Nana, like my family, surrogate family, as it were, you know, were all the target, high-profile criminals of the day. So, of course, this was very unhealthy.
These people? What kind of criminals? What kind of names?
Well, you know, it's not so much about names, but they are, you know, they were the, you know, the top organised crime people and fraternities of the day. You can be sure of that.
And when you say you were groomed, what kind of things did they sort of try and get you to do to mould you into a criminal, as it were?
Well, I was a crazy kid, really, you know, and we're always looking to belong, right? You know, I had carried a lot of trauma with me, so I was really susceptible to that, right? You know, so you want to belong, they tell you, you're the guy, you're going to be like them, you know, we're going to stand and fall with you, you know, all of this kind of stuff, you know, and, you know, for a young kid, like, you know, with these role models, it's very compelling. But, you know, the thing about it is, Nana, even the people who's a little bit older, a little bit further along, they'd been groomed in the same way, right?
So what kind of things did they get you to do, though? Presumably some sorts of petty crime. What kind of...
Well, you know, you always start off, there's a lot of violence and you'd move things, guns, you know, whatever that would be, right? You know, you'd look out for them and stuff like that. You know, they'd take you along on, you know, on things, and they'd, you know, they'd send you out to do violence now and stuff like that. This is to forge you, to test you, you know, in a strange way, to see how talented you are as well. So they can just use you for other things, right?
So your first encounter with prison, when was it, and what happened? Why were you...
It was 10 days after my 14th birthday, because I was, you know, already really involved in crime at that stage. You know, I was so bad, Nana, it has to be said that they put off that court appearance until 10 days after my 40th birthday, so I could be sent to prison, which was detention centre then, you know, for youngsters.
What do you think? Because we're discussing it a little bit later on. I was going to ask you later, but I didn't want to forget. Do you think they're right to slightly be more lenient from those from deprived backgrounds who commit crime? Because that's what they were saying last week. Do you think that that's a realistic thing?
I don't think, Nana. I know our environments, they really trigger us and they really shape us, you know. It's like the instruction that we got and the role models we have and the information, you know, we're being fed. But you really need opportunity, and understanding is the key within that. I see so many people that is propelled or pushed or even, you know, fall into a life of crime and bad choices that could have done so much better for society and everyone else. So I do agree with this, absolutely.
You think they should, but then doesn't that penalise people who've come from good backgrounds who then commit crime? Surely you'd think, well, it's your first offence, so maybe we'll be more lenient, rather than you've done this repeatedly, you poor thing. Would it not then almost give a green light to some people with troubled backgrounds like yourself, for example? Yeah,
it's a valid point what you say, and it's a very bespoke task, really, that I would say. It's not one size that fits all. When I say, we should be lenient for the right reasons, with the right people at the right time in the right ways, is absolutely key to this. But it saves a lot of money, it saves a lot of trauma, saves a lot of victims, and it actually adds to society. So, you know, we have to choose what is better.
Did they consider your background when you were given your sentences, or was it just...
Look, I always say it as it is. I think there was a time they said, oh, this is just a young kid, this guy, right? You know, I mean, they see through it all, right? But it was different in them days, and they wasn't really set up. You know, there wasn't that advanced kind of understanding or framework set up at what comes next. It's all right saying, oh, we're going to give you a chance here, but what comes next? You know, there has to be a meaningful framework that's going to work, right?
Cover you.
Yeah.
So you went in there at 14. How much time did you spend there? Then you went to prison again.
Yeah, I was only in there a couple of months then, but I was in and out of Borstal's youth custodies, they was called then, and, you know, I went that migration, you know, all the way up until I got 18 years, of course, you know, for armed robbery as a Category A inmate,
What did you do? You said armed robbery. Can you be more specific? Can you tell us more?
Well, yeah, it was armed robbery. It was after, you know, years of a technological war, you know, with the flying squad. You know, even then there was a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of armed robbers, you know, in East London at that time. And the flying squad was there for the gangster problem. So, you know, when I was arrested, it was a red eye. It was an ambush. They was already there, the police.
Oh, really?
Shots was fired. Yeah, you know, they said I fired 2 shots. I have to say this was shown to be by accident. The gun went off. But it was very serious stuff, and this is just to show the impact of where my choices took me now.
But you served time in prison for that. How long? And then when you came out, what next?
Well, you know, I served 12 years. I'd done about 4 years of that in solitary confinement. I was really with all the, you know, notorious people of the day. I was released to Category A as well.
You were with Charles Bronson, weren't you?
Yes, I knew Charlie well.
What was he like?
Charlie is a strange character, and there's 2 sides to Charlie. He has a hair trigger. Yes, he can be very violent, very physical guy. Is he the most dangerous prisoner in the UK prisons? Absolutely not. And I've seen little, small people do much more damage. Really crazy, right? That has to be said. But there's another side to Charlie that is really funny. He's a great conversationalist. You know, he's a great drawer. But he needs a lot of support and he needs a lot of help, obviously.
So when you came out after spending all that time in prison, how did you manage to get from there to where you are now?
I had to get my humanity back. You have to understand that it takes years for a sentence like that to hit you, but it takes years on the other side because you're institutionalised. You know, I'd done a lot of voluntary work. You know, I started at the bottom as a labourer, right? You know, that was good for me to get my humanity back, my honesty back. You know, I worked my way all the way up through that, you know, become a supervisor, running my own contracts, my own business within the first 18 months, you know, I went to, that's the middle bit, Nana, you know. I went to university, I passed with honours, you know, and I went on from, that was the foundational stuff that I needed, you know, and this took some years.
You went backwards to get the things that you feel you should have had.
Yeah.
To help you, equip you for the journey. And so you've now written your book, Extraordinary, The Search for a Life Worth Living. Yes.
Yeah. I think we're all searching for a life worth living, and you know what, Nan, it's like I always say, life doesn't give us what we want, it gives us what we become. Of course it does. You know, we are a blank sheet. We have to work at it. It's not that we fall down or we hit a wall and we have to get up, but it's that we get the gifts of the learning from that to not go back. And it is about creation, you know, and contributing. It's not about destruction or taking in this life.
So this is about your story.
Look, I have to say, it's been #1 bestseller in 2 categories already on pre-sale. You know, I'm going to appear at a lot of literary festivals. I've got a tour with Waterstones. It's going to be widespread and be open to people. I'm not just saying it really has it all in there, because what I've done, Nana, is I've really stuck to the authenticity of the story, warts and all, because it's really not about me. I'm a conduit. You know, I feel that I am, but there's so much in there on that journey, and we will find bits of us scattered all the way through it.
Well, I hope I'm not scattered in it, although there is a picture of me in there.
You're in there, all right.
Yeah, you're there. Look, I'm in it. Me and Stephen. Bits of me scattered in there. Stephen. There you go, brilliant. Well, listen, Stephen Gillen, it's such a pleasure to talk to you. Good luck with all your touring and everything. Has the book actually come out now, or is it only available on pre-order?
No, it's out now. It come out on the 4th of April, so it's there. It's going to be a film as well, you know. And yeah, it's going to be a film. So we've got the deal on the film, and you know, it's really going to help a lot of stuff. The feedback I'm getting from real people, you know, is amazing, you know, and that's a real privilege, Nana.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for joining me. It's really good to talk to you, and congratulations on your book and your extraordinary career thus far.
Oh, thanks, Nana. Thank you.
Brilliant. Author Stephen Gillen.